Yes. So we are discussing about sadhana Panchakam, the 40 steps, and we are still understanding the two steps. Study Eastern wisdom, to study oneself, that is one. And second is that we have to apply these principles, what we have studied in our daily life. And the first thing first, every day in the morning or any time of the day, my mind returns to the any time of the day. Om Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. I have already created an acronym. I'm not going to talk about that acronym. And then I should see that, oh, there is a peace present in the known world. How? Like the space, which is a container, and the rest are the contents. The same thing, the peace is still there as a container, and the unknown events is going to take place today. So in that peace it is happening. Why? Because peace is my essential nature. Peace is my essential nature. Now, studying the Eastern wisdom, ask the question. If you don't ask the question, if you don't analyze your life, then we may be practicing meditation for 50 years, no change. There will definitely be no change. And then we discard it. We say, okay, leave it. This is not going to work. Why the hell? If I use the word why the hell, I'm living after all. No, don't say that. We are not going to commit suicide. No, I'm not talking about the suicide. How many times you react, you have an anxiety, you have a duality, you have a conflict, you have a bad dream, you are frustrated, you have fear, you have failure. Why you are living? Are you not tired of living? Every day we have those events in our life. Every day. Not a single day passes. Why we are living? Why the hell I'm living? I never ask this question. When I don't ask this question, then okay, I try to manage. I try to manage my relationship. I try to manage my body. I try to manage events. I try to manage the situation. Are you getting it? Why? I'm trying to manage. That is why we have corporate management, we have stress management, so we have a management of life. What should I do? After all, I have to live. I have a lot of stress doing the business. I'm fully busy. I don't have time for myself. Why the hell I'm living? Why? When I'm surrounded by the anxiety, reaction, duality, conflict, the moment you focus on this question, then I recognize my relationship to the world outside. So, my relationship to the world outside means situation, event, people, place. This is that is how I relate myself by an event, by a situation. You just see that we are just attending a session. This is an event. You, me, time, place, virtual session, event. I hope that all of you have joined the session in peace, or you were in a hurry, or you were frustrated because I have to restart my computer twice. Think, think, think. We don't think about it. Why the hell? So basically, I'm searching for peace and happiness. That is the first thing. Okay, I'm searching peace, happiness, love, wisdom. Okay, that is good. That is very clear. But where I'm searching? Outside in the world or inside me? But I don't want to go inside because there is a hollowness, there is a loneliness, there is a fear, there is a frustration. I don't dare to go. One, even if I go for one session, I feel calmness and peace. But after this session, the mind returns to the same old habits, same old responses. So throughout the day, I have a lot of stress. In the evening, I will practice meditation. That is not what the Eastern wisdom is. It is not. It is not. That is what. That is why you return again and again, and you say, "I have a lot of problems. I have a lot of challenges," because the mind has still to believe pending inquiry. Mind has yet to believe that I am of the nature of peace and happiness. That is the only reason, barring exceptions, we skip the session, not only the live session, but we skip our journey in our daily living. We forget. And that is the reason Master says you study the Eastern wisdom. To study yourself. Study the Eastern wisdom to study yourself. I have an anxiety, fear, failure, frustration only because I'm searching that peace and happiness outside. Why I'm searching peace and happiness outside? Because I find, oh, I have already studied myself. I have a lot of failures and frustration and fears. What to see inside me? I don't dare to go inside. So, what is happening? Every practice, every listening and learning is just at the surface level. That is why we are not able to, if we don't make a progress. Even if we make a progress, we rise in consciousness, we fall down. We fall down. So, what the master says, analyze yourself further. What to analyze? What kind of a seeker you are. So I'm coming to that topic. Study Eastern wisdom to study yourself. So we are, say, the first type of a seeker, which is known as the distressed seeker. What is the distress? What is the thinking of the distressed seeker? I often focus on immediate problems and challenges in my life. I tend to view the spirituality as a source of comfort and escape. Sometimes I want to escape, and sometimes I see that as a comfort. Oh, let me join, listen to you, and after all, you will definitely give the practice. I will be relaxed, so I'm looking for it. I may struggle with a long term perspective. I have constant worries, fears, or complaints. If I have constant fear, worries, and complaints, I come under the first type of a seeker. That is why I told you that we are still working on the first two steps. What is my behavior of the first type of a seeker? I seek a spiritual practice or rituals during the times of crisis. I don't see that the peace is all pervading, happiness is within me all the time. But when I get frustrated, I've already explained you the reason, and then okay, oh, let me do some practice, relax. After relaxation, the work is done, and after that, the same thing again. Or we want some magic band. We don't want to transform ourselves. Prone to anxiety, reaction, duality. That is our relationship with the real self. No relationship. No, not too much. I find that the real self in the form of a God will come and help me. But I don't believe that I am the real self. But the master says constant, consistent listening and learning will help us to change that pattern. If we don't continue, then it will not. The second is the authority. I am very happy as far as the wealth is concerned. Food, bread, butter, everything is there. But now, okay, let me change myself, enter into the spirituality for a worldly success. Material, little, let me have more success. Often I discuss the spiritual practices in terms of benefits and results. Yes, it is important to discuss, but benefit outside, result outside, not possible. I'm thinking in wrongly. I must undergo a transformation. What do you mean by transformation? Simple example. I had lot of moments of anxiety in the past, but now there is no moment of anxiety. So it means that two individual, that past individual is gone. Reaction is gone, the fear is gone. That is the meaning of transformation. And you manage the fear, you can never manage the fear. Failure, frustration, reaction. Second type of it, seeker. So, yes, we engage ourselves into that practice. The kind of satisfaction we get by doing the practice, we say, it is not going to work in a long term. Only the explorer, the real seeker, who is highly analytical, who questions, not only who questions the teacher, but he questions his own state of mind. I'm in anxiety. Why? Why? That is what happened to me. Why I'm reacting? Why I have a fear? I have lot of fear, failure, frustration. What should I do? What should I do? Go to a psychotherapist, go to a psychiatrist. I don't question. I don't think. Then I have to ask a very genuine question. A real seeker questions the ritual. For example, I told you, perform the ritual of Shanti Mantra every day. And I have explained it through at most 15 different ways. And still your mind is not following it, then what should I say? Belief pending inquiry. That is why You might be thinking that it is not working. So, yes, it is not working. The fourth one, I will not talk about it. That is the awakened one. Awakened one. We have to understand that studying Eastern wisdom is to study yourself. If you do not study yourself, then it is not going to work. It is not going to. So I have to maintain my awareness. The moment any anxiety reaction comes, I question first. Question will help you raise your level of awareness. That awareness will separate the world and you. You'll find calmness and relaxation there. And that is why I told you, Dennis has already explained it. You have four types of seekers, and there are infinite number of permutation and combinations. Means today I'm one type of a seeker, after an hour I'm another type of a seeker. During the day, the type of my seekership is different. So unless it comes down to the third level, by repetition, by questioning, by understanding, then only my journey will definitely be smooth, straight. Then I will continue to rise in consciousness. You know what Dennis said? There are infinite number of permutation and combination. I just gave you 64. So even if you take 64, we have identified 64 types of seekers. Uh, and that is why we have more than 3,000 texts, because it underlines, oh, you belong to this type, so you have to study this text. And then this Sadhana Panchkam is for everyone. Is for everyone. So that is why we understand that type of seeking. So understand there are not 64 types of seeker or infinite number of seeker. I transition from one seeker ship to the another seeker ship to the third seeker ship. You have no chance except to smile in this virtual session. But then the nature programming takes over you after an hour after a session, and that program dictates you. Your past impression dictates you. You are in reaction. You become a different type of a seeker. That is what we are trying to understand. That is why I'm still sticking to the first two steps to understand it. This power of permutation still works in my life, or it is not at all working. I wake up in the morning, I have a pain in the knee, but still I'm in peace. I have had it. I could see the peace as a container. And the pain is secondary. It is in the body, not in me. Is it possible to have that level of awareness to become a seeker? Yes, I will take care of the headache. That is not a problem. Problem is identification. And if that identification is there, then I have to self-check again and again. So now you see that. The first step one is that I have to study Eastern wisdom, to study myself. Now I have studied myself through the knowledge, through the analysis, through the understanding, through the reflection. What reflection? Have you headache? No, peace is the container. Headache is separate, it is in the body. And your honeycomb says something, you have no chance to get irritated. The karma yoga is already done. You need not to do anything. No, no, I have just a headache. I'll take care of it. You don't react. Are you getting it? You don't react. Internal state of the mind is totally different. And that comes by regular contemplation and reflection. If we don't contemplate and reflect, so again, you have to ask questions, maybe 100 questions to yourself. Study Eastern wisdom to study myself. I have studied what I studied. How I studied that the real self is there and the false self is there. Also, let me understand, am I in the real self or am I in the false self? So, what is the false I? The false I depends on the real I. You go on questioning. Why? To purify the mind, not only by studying, but also by doing the karma yoga. That will definitely results into awakening and what we say enlightenment or whatever the words that you want to use. Study Eastern wisdom, I have to study myself. No, but first let me get rid of the pain and then no. Definitely you get rid of the pain, but at the same time, your mind recognizes that this headache belongs to the body, not to you. That awareness never strikes our mind. Fear, duality, conflict, it is always in relationship to the world. Study Eastern wisdom to study myself. You picked up only one thing. I am the real self of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. And study Eastern wisdom means that you study uh, from A to G, all the steps. In every step you question, you come out clean. You have challenges in your life, yes, but still you live into that state. I maintain, for example, I maintain awareness that this without the space, this house does not exist. See, now you study the Eastern. So without the real self, this body, mind, breath, intellect, and ego will not exist. My thought process does not exist. And then what happens, can you can you imagine and can you think of it? Even my anxiety reaction cannot exist without the real. I cannot recognize it. The moment you reach anxiety, I am in anxiety. I am plus anxiety. I am in stress. I am plus stress. I am scared. I am plus scared. Look at it. Look at it. They are two, not one. So as we continue listening and learning, contemplation and reflection, yes, we will have it in the beginning. I'm in anxiety. I am plus anxiety. I reacted. I am plus reaction. Look at it. So that belief converts into a faith by constant self inquiry. inquiry, and then we recognize that I can think, speak, and act differently in my life. We are still covering the two steps. I will continue our journey next session, so close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Now, eyes are closed and place in the space around your body. Why I refer to the space all around your body? Well, did you understand? That space is the container. We still, even though it is a subjective reality, we still follow the mind so that this mind does not create lot of impurities and reaction, and it prevents us to treat the path. So we say, oh yeah, let the space be objective. There is a space all around the body, but that space is infinite space. That space is the container. Container of what? Container of everything. What do you mean by everything? Our galaxies, our solar system, our house, our honey, huh? Our reaction, our anxiety, our fear, our failure and frustration, our body, our mind, intellect, and ego. So the more and more you reflect, what will happen? After all, a tea is different from the cup of a tea container. Place and the position and the posture. The moment you are reflecting on that container and the content, your body will naturally acquire a position, and it will be comfortable, and it will be carefree. Comfortable, comfort. Do you have a comfort in the cell of the body? Or do you have a comfort in the mind? If comfort is the natural state of the mind, then why I'm reacting in anxiety? Do you reach to that subtle level of awareness by reflection and comfort? It comfort in the body. It is not the comfort of the body. Of the body means it belongs to the body. Body has a property of comfort. If the body has a property of comfort, then it will remain comfortable all the time. Same thing with the carefree. The space is already there. You see, you have to live into that reflected awareness all the time. All the time. So, should I leave my business, my profit? No. You live inside into that awareness while doing all your required activities outside. I believe you are getting it. And once we have that awareness, then do you remember we talk of the neighbors? So again, you can think of it container and content, the world outside. World outside is the first neighbor. So I translated that as a neighbor. Why? Even the neighbor spends until midnight with your home, and then he says, no, let me go to my house. Thank you very much. We had a good talk. So means that neighbor is not me. Your first neighbor is the world of, whether you say at a very subtler level, it is the world of time, space, and objects. Clear? Now at a outer level, at the external level, at the primary level, it is the world of relationship, of people, of possessions, of pleasure seeking objects, etc. Yeah, we can start from there also. Second neighbor is our physical body. If the physical body is not there, forget about pain and pleasure, reaction, and the fear. Oh, that is also my second neighbor. Third neighbor is the hunger and the thirst. Hunger and thirst, because of ignorance, has been translated by mind as a fear, failure, and frustration. And that is why the fourth neighbor, the mind says, no, I have a lot of stress, but what should I do at the job? I have a lot of stress and I have to continue. Master laughs at us. Fifth neighbor is the likes and dislikes, or likes and dislikes. Sixth neighbor is the ignorance. I discussed about it. So, what is beyond that? Beyond that is a space at the primary level of understanding. At a deeper level of understanding, it is consciousness. Further deeper, it is the real self. So we invoke the mind by Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Can you really go deeper of this statement, translation of this first line? May there be happiness for all. Well, I don't have enough resources. I don't have that ability to bring happiness for everyone. Do you see the big ego? Now ego has retrieved its steps. How can you be happy yourself? Can you be happy by yourself? We need a contemplation and reflection. And ultimately we land up happiness is the property of real self. It is not the property of anything, any event, situation outside, including the body, breath, mind, intellect, all the six neighbors. So it means I'm always in happiness. If the happiness is my property, answer is yes. But I'm still in anxiety. It hides itself. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. Peace. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness for all. You see that you are repeating every day. Repetition with reflection helps you to continue to march forward. Practice without reflection will put you into a habitual mode. It is whose habitual mode? The mind. How the habitual mode is developed by the mind because of finding the comfort zone, finding the nature's programming, finding the impulsive nature. So we lost all the sessions that you have done until now. Do you see the importance of these two steps? Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. Looking inside. Now, see in that state of the stillness in the body, you're looking inside the forehead in the space. Actually, you feel and see the space, and there you drop Om Shanti. So, what you're doing exactly, you are dropping the Om Shanti into the infinite space. Why? So that Om is realized, Om Shanti is realized. If you do it with a greater awareness and penetration, it works. You do it habitually, it will not work. So, with that Om Shanti, start breathing long and deep in the hissing into your chest. Start breathing long, deep in the hissing, not quick and fast breath. You inhale, all the ribs expand. You exhale, all your ribs squeezes down. Continue, my friends. Continue. Long, deep, and the hissing breath. Om Shanti continues. And long, deep, in the hissing breath. Today we are doing 3 minutes to see can we endure it. We've already done for 2 minutes, couple of times, and you have done it regularly at your home daily. So that's why, based on our journey, we are doing it for 3 minutes. Now stop this. First, be aware of the flow of the breath. Be aware of the flow of the breath. Stillness in the body continues, and you have variety of experiences. That includes the vision, colors. Sometimes you may feel the body has become very, very big. Sometimes you may find the body has become a variety of experiences. So at present, we want to reach to a point from where we look at these experiences. That is my focus. So look again. Om Shanti deep inside the forehead, in the space, the stillness in the body. And start the second round of the chest breathing, long, deep in the hissing breath. Your attention on expansion of the rib cage and the squeezing. Your attention is also on the dropping of the Om Shanti, and your attention is also on the stillness in the body, and your attention is also on listening to me. Oh, lot of things. So, casually, we are just raising our awareness and attention by adding the points in a particular step. Continue long, deep in the hissing breath. Om Shanti continues. The stillness of the body continues. Now leave this step, allow the breath to be normal. Rather, make it little, deep, silent, and slow. As you inhale deep first into the belly, then into the ribs, your mind moves from the top center of the head into the spine, reaching to the tailbone, and you are singing mentally. You are singing loudly, mentally. Om Shanti ends at the tailbone, and as you exhale, you start Om Shanti. Complete exhalation reaches to the top of the head. We should not forget these steps until we clearly understand and we experience, understanding, practice, and experience. Oh, if I do like this, it will happen. I have a lot of anxiety. I become a different kind of a seeker. I'm not able to get rid of it. So I am aware of each step, how each step can work and take me there. You know what happens? Continue doing it. If that happens, your thought, speech, and action will change. You will start applying, you will start talking and discussing on these terms to the other people. Other people will also be motivated and inspired. Shanti. You see, we continue the mantra, but we are doing the mantra totally in a different way. Why different way? A different mindset. Why different mindset? The same thing, permutation and combination of a seeker. Think. Just understand it clearly. And now is the time to move the mind inside the cave of your heart. Visualize a triangle of any color, equilateral triangle pointing upward, moving the mind on the side of a triangle, at the same time dropping Om Shanti, and you find the sink. By moving clockwise, anti-clockwise in the moment, you find the sink. Mm, mentally pushing the mind deep inside the cave of your heart. Shanti, when the mind seemingly stops. So we heighten our awareness, and in that heightened state of awareness, we start recognizing our mind as an objective, not subjective. And that is why we are pushing the mind with Om. Stay there in that state of doing nothing. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good, sir. Thank you very much. And thank you for today's lesson. It was, I realized during the lesson that I've been bouncing back and forth between the different types of seekers, and not understanding it. I think getting more frustrated than anything else because I'm on this journey to get to be the fourth seeker. So I've realized been quite hard on myself. With that being said, um, it goes back to the conversation we've had multiple times about living inside than outside. And I started thinking about the contemplation reflection aspect because I contemplate and reflect all the time. But the difference is that in looking in the more recent, my contemplation reflection is on things outside of me and not inside. And today was a reminder that it's all about I am and everything inside, and leave that other junk out there because it the mind, the I am, the false I gives all that junk the power, and it's powerful. And so we've got to really pull back and come inside. And it was like, I don't want to say it was an aha moment, but it was a great moment, and it really led to a great meditation for me, to the point in which during the Nyasa, I started, as we came to the end of it, I saw and felt this white light just circling around my entire being. And then when you said to go to the heart center, it it is as if it just got absorbed into the center of the triangle. And did not lose focus, did not think about anything, and just was there the rest of the meditation. So again, thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful, Stephen. You see, that is how the realization takes place. That is why our master says, listen and learn. Again, no, I have heard it. No, I have to listen it again. Then you contemplate and reflect. So the contemplation and reflection, you see, now you can we realize that how come there are different type of a seeker. So we say, okay, let me brand myself, I'm this kind of a seeker. No, during the entire day I transition into many types of seeker. Can you imagine, once you become aware, you are in anxiety? Oh, I'm in the first type of the seeker. This is not fair. You raise your awareness level. That is how it works. That is why, I take up and explain. Beautifully summarized, Stephen. Thank you. How are you, Dennis?
Thank you for the lesson and the practice. My practice was seamless. The breathing was easy, and there was sensations in the body after the breathing, along with the clarity in the mind, and then there was just a dark space and calmness and peace. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yes. So when the mind smoothly transitions from the current state into the meditation, so everything is smooth. So we can point out what kind of a seeker we are. How are you, Terry?
Um, I never get past the triangle to find a thing, so I just stayed at that place, and I didn't go to the next step.
It is okay. Even if you continue to stay there, we are almost at the level of a seeker or the third seeker. And that is very important. So sometime we can stay. Sometime people say Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. They are totally absorbed into that Om Shanti. And the mind is already deeply absorbed. I'm going to talk about those subtle areas slowly. Wonderful. How are you, Christina?
Thank you very much. I noticed something new, color of red, in my mind, and lots of energy that I hadn't noticed before through the practice. And I agree with Stephen. Sometimes I think I'm thinking I'm contemplating on the real, so, but I'm just contemplating on all of that outside extraneous. And so the piece is the container, really, that's what I should be focusing on and contemplating on.
Yes, yes, that's a good recognition and realization. That is what the Stephen is saying. That I'm contemplating on what? On my honey who reacted to me, who she does not understand. That is not contemplation. You are creating more and more impressions. You get rid of everything outside. So that is what he pointed out, that from inside to outside. But then we have also to understand what exactly is inside. So you see, lot of things have to be understood in this journey. Beautiful. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. So I'm good. Like the same thing that the seekership is keep on changing. Like as my desire changes, like the seekership is also changing. With some desire, I am able to easily bypass them, and then my level of seekership is higher. With some desires, I'm not able to bypass that easily, and then my seekership is lower. So it keeps on happening throughout the day. So I can realize that, and then
Good.
plus other thing is that you said that I can only be upset when there is two. I cannot be upset with one. So I can relate to this that when I'm sleeping, I cannot be upset because there is only one in the sleeping. There is no object in the sleeping, so there is no upset in the sleeping. And similarly, like when I'm like seeing my mind, and when I realize that there is an object by which I am upset about, and if I drop that object, the upset will not be there. So
Yes, yes. Your mind is going subtler, and you have taken up this principle as a means to become a seeker. That's good. Any object in the mind, anything that is experienced in the mind is the objective reality. That is what I said. I'm in anxiety. I am plus anxiety. That anxiety is my experience. Reaction is my experience. Honey is my experience. Any experience, I'm not the experience. That helps us to go deeper immediately. It changes the very state of being a seeker. Now, do you see that when we understand that there are fundamentally four types of a seeker, but if we have a permutation and combinations, we live, we transition from one type of a seeker to the other type of a seeker. So sometimes your mind is burdened with a tremendous anxiety, but because the intellect has understood, intellect says I am a seeker, so I should not react. But internally you are reacting. internally you are fighting with it. Krishna, our Gita, Krishna, who wrote the Gita, he says, then you are a hypocrite. Think. It demands a lot of contemplation and reflection. Our goal is very high, awakening. So the greater and deeper the understanding, not only the personal, professional, social life is going to change. You have to show that you are enlightened, then that is also an objective reality. It means you have a big ego, you are working to satisfy your ego for an awakening. You are an extraordinary person. I told my master, he said, you stop this. The moment you think that you are awakened and you are an extraordinary person, it means you are not awakened. It is the mind with your ego, with false notion. You remain as an ordinary person. That is all for today. We will meet again. Don't worry, Stephen. This F is dictating my speech into the text. It's an application. So, nobody is there.